After 5 years of marriage, I still wasn't pregnant. At the private party, my husband Chase bragged, "Brielle is 2 months pregnant. That Sophia can't lay an egg." If she didn't sound so good in bed, I'd have divorced her ages ago. Brielle was the mistress he kept on the side. I arrived in a rush, froze on the threshold, and felt the blood drain from my face. So I filed for divorce and left for the capital. Later, a drunk Chase broke down, calling me non-stop, "Sophia, I never married Brielle. I love you. Let's remarry. You can't have kids anyway, just think of it as someone giving us a son." He didn't know the infertile one was him. Because, at that very moment, I'd just delivered our second child and was sitting the month. Before we go on, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. Chase hosted a party tonight. He called at 8 to summon me. I ran out the door without time to change. Just outside the private lounge I heard him chattering with his friends, buoyant as ever. "Brielle's 2 months pregnant, can't keep her out late," he boasted. "I told the driver to take her home. Sophia will be here any minute." A buddy flattered him, "Never met a guy who turns up with both his women, Harrington." Chase laughed. "That Sophia can't lay an egg. If she didn't scream so sweet, I'd have kicked her to the curb. Only Brielle's in the first trimester, no rough stuff until the baby's stable. I'll keep screwing Sophia for free a few more months, then divorce her and bring Brielle in as Harrington." I froze. If I didn't know that voice by heart, I'd swear it belonged to a stranger. Brielle? The new 22-year-old secretary at the office? She's the side piece, and already 2 months pregnant? The last time I dropped by the company I'd seen that same girl kissing some random guy in the pantry. Before I could absorb it, the noise inside yanked me back. His friends hooted, "Man, the Harrington heir plays it smart, has his fun in. D keeps them separate. But Sophia, that little crybaby, she adores you. When she finds out she's just your toy, she'll weep for days." Chase sounded smug. "She's been with me since 18. Every tear she's ever shed was over me. Without me she'd be dead." Then came the disgust, "Too clingy, that's her problem. And she can't give me a kid. Can't let the Harrington line die, right?" Someone gossiped, "She loves you so much, think she'll sign the papers?" Chase shrugged it off, "Since when does she get a say?" They burst out laughing. "Cheers, Mr. H. Taught your woman her place. Congrats on the baby." Chase downed his drink, still on a roll. "If Sophia turns hysterical and refuses, I'll keep the status quo. My heart's with the kid and Brielle. She can play the dignified wife if she behaves, I'm not forcing her out. She's good for a quick release, still makes the prettiest noise. Cleaner than a hooker, anyway." Another wave of laughter crashed inside. I stood in the corridor, chilled to the bone. I didn't go in, I went straight home. Our marital mansion sat in the city center, a wedding gift from his parents. The last 2 years Chase had come home less and less. The big house echoed, empty. I was afraid of being alone. He always said he was busy. I hadn't believed him, begging for an explanation. Maybe I trusted that handsome face and its gentle act too much to notice he was sick of me. Now it was clear how busy he'd been, busy enough to knock up his mistress. The irony stung. I'd been his pampered canary in a cage, trading my freedom for the title of Harrington, never realizing I'd become their running joke. He called several times, I ignored every one. Near midnight he showed up, smelling of whiskey, tall frame swaying slightly. With that charming face and those flirtatious eyes, he almost looked seductive. "Sophia, waiting for me?" He slipped his arms around my waist from behind, lips brushing my ear. "I told you to come to the party, why didn't you show? And why ignore why calls?" I was terrified something had happened. A week ago I'd have melted, nestling into his broad chest for comfort. But tonight every word from the lounge stabbed me. "Let go, Chase." I shoved him away in revulsion. He frowned, releasing me. Those affectionate eyes softened. "What's wrong, babe? You used to love me holding you." I couldn't look at him, afraid I'd cave to sweet lies and fool myself again. I turned my head. "I'm tired. Going to bed." He sensed something was off. With a sigh he said, "Mad because I'm late again? I told you it was just a guy's night, and I invited you. You took forever, so we stayed. Don't sulk. I know it's because you love me. And I'll always love only you. But Mom and Dad handed me the company, I have to run it." He reached for me again. Drunk, or maybe eager to avoid stressing Brielle, he was unusually aroused. "Speaking of parents, they keep asking for a grandchild. Let's try, maybe tonight's the night." His breath was hot on my neck. "Relax, sweetheart, no pressure. Enjoy the way I touch you, it helps conception." His hands wandered. "Don't touch me. Didn't you just say you're about to be a father? Why knock me up?" I'm the one who can't lay an egg, remember, how exactly am I supposed to conceive? All the rage I'd swallowed came spilling out. Chase froze, desire drained from his face. Then it clicked. So you were outside the lounge. That's why you never came in, and why you wouldn't pick up. I didn't answer. Tears began slipping down. He relaxed, even smiled. Come on, babe, guys talk trash when they drink. No baby, I swear. I love only you. Me, father some other woman's kid? Impossible. Your infertility thing, I was just joking, you know? 5 years married, no kid, you've doubted yourself, run every test. Last time you begged me to get checked I said no, it couldn't be me. I was shaking with fury, but I kept my voice level. Exactly, nothing wrong with you, just the mistress 2 months along. Brielle, right, the new young secretary? If you innocent, I'll have coffee with her tomorrow and ask. Every test came back the same, I was fine. The doctor, in the gentlest terms possible, reminded me more than once that the infertility was probably on my husband's side. She wanted me to bring him in for tests. I'd brought it up with Chase, but every time I opened my mouth he cut me off with an automatic no. He swore he couldn't possibly have a problem. I never pushed hard enough, and the subject always melted away. Back then I told myself that whoever's issue it was, a baby would be heaven's gift, and if none came we'd let nature take its course. After all, I loved Chase the man. If I could spend my whole life with him, I'd still be happy, even childless. I never guessed he didn't feel the same, or that he'd already gotten another woman pregnant. Looking back, the irony is nauseating. I feel as if a hand is crushing my heart. I fell for Chase the first time I met him, back when we were teenagers, and I never climbed back out. From dating to marriage, I was the one who reached first, reached last, reached always. Maybe I really was too clingy, and that's what bored him. And, on top of it, I couldn't give him children. If he can't live with that, I'll let him go. Marriage isn't a welded cage, if he wants Brielle, I'll step aside. I stared at the man I'd loved for more than 10 years and forced the words out, Chase, let's get a divorce. He froze, staring as if I'd slapped him. His gaze traveled down me like ice water. What did you say? Say it again if you dare. I met his eyes, willing my tears to stay put. I said, let's get a divorce. My steadiness ignited him. His voice turned razor cold. Sophia, you've sure grown a backbone, daring to ask me for a divorce. You're a parentless orphan I pampered for years. How will you survive once I'm gone? My heart bled. I'll manage, don't trouble yourself. Chase exploded. Think hard, don't come sobbing later. The day you drop to your knees begging me to remarry you. I won't even look. Fine. I nodded, feeling the sadness thicken. That night I lay awake, unable to understand how we'd come to this. He used to be the boy who chased off bullies on a sunlit street and promised to protect me forever. He'd been the blazing sun that lit up my dark teenage years. Now he'd tossed me back into the crowd. The paperwork was painless. I owned almost nothing in the house, there was no property to split. 1 month from now, when the 30-day cooling off period ends, the divorce will be final. Although the process isn't finished, I've already moved out of the marital mansion. Chase happened to be home on moving day, first time in ages. In a tailored suit, crystal flute in hand, he stood at the floor-to-ceiling window looking down at me. He never said a word. Only after the door clicked shut did I hear the glass shatter against marble. Later I attended a business reception. I hadn't expected Chase to show. I'd barely stepped into the hall when I spotted him lounging with his friends, drinks flowing. He was clearly in a foul mood, draining glass after glass. Jason asked, Chase, is Sophia really divorcing you? Chase's brows knitted, he tossed back another shot. Stop calling her my wife, she doesn't deserve it. She used to beg me through tears to love only her, now she has the nerve to file. Spoiled her too much. Jason read him instantly and soothed, she's just jealous you fell for someone else. Kicking up dust so you'll coax her. She'll cave during the cooling off month and crawl back. Chase liked that, his shoulders relaxed, victory curling his lips. She can't live without me, not the other way round. Me coax her? How important does she think she is? Another buddy chimed in, right, bro. She'll be crying on your doorstep in 3 days, tops. I smiled bitterly, feeling hollow. I couldn't blame them, every past fight had seen me apologize within 72 hours. I used to think our problems were small, he needed face, I loved him, so why not yield? I'd forgotten that if you bow too often, people expect you on your knees forever. Chase's smirk widened, he slouched in his chair, arms spread. She's never dared mention divorce before. Now she tries to blackmail me with it. She's jealous I spoil Brielle, real jealous. He stressed the word spoil, and the rest hooted, bet you spoil her in bed too, knocked up already, right? Chase grinned, twirling the crystal flute, Brielle's different. Sophia thinks I'll still want her when she comes begging? I'm no trash collector. Come and go as she pleases? Even if she crawls back, I'll kick her to the curb. I'm about to be a dad, no room for a hen that can't lay. More flattering laughter erupted. I hadn't meant to eavesdrop, but their voices filled the hall. Even resolved to leave, hearing him still cut deep. My entire adult life felt like a punchline. Whether heartbreak or my tendency to tear up, my eyes were soon flooded. Jason happened to glance over. He caught the full view of my tear-streaked face and announced like a trophy, "Speak of the angel, Sophia's here. Crying again, definitely regrets it. Must have heard about tonight and come to apologize." Chase's eager eyes snapped toward me. Confirming it was really me, mascara running, he exhaled in relief, satisfaction flickering across his face. He quickly masked it, turning away, chin high, certain I was here to grovel. When I stayed put, his expression soured. His pals shot me looks, silently ordering me to go to him. They held their breath, waiting. Even Chase watched from the corner of his eye. Brielle, chatting with a cluster of socialites, sensed the shift. She glided over and draped herself on Chase's arm, cooing, "Chase, you've had too much. Let me help you up." Chase stayed sprawled, yanking her onto his lap instead. His smiling eyes adored her while his tongue lashed me. "Thought you had backbone? Just a piece of duct tape trailing my shoes." His hand began to roam, first a pat on her rear, then upward. "Sto. Piet," Brielle giggled, wriggling closer. Still ignoring me, Chase kept talking. "Realize your mistake? Too late. Divorce is perfect, clears the throne for Brielle. My son won't be born a bastard." Brielle soaked up every syllable. She shot me a triumphant glare, then melted against him, biting her lip. "Chase, marriage is huge, don't feel forced. I'll stand by you either way. Even if your son and I have no title, knowing you care is enough." Chase hugged her tighter, planting a lingering kiss on her neck. "That's my considerate girl." I'd braced myself for the infidelity, vowed to let go. But knowing and seeing our worlds apart, watching them, I felt my ribcage crack. More than a decade, my youth, my first love, squandered on this? The pretty filter of memory shattered like thin ice. Disgust rolled in my stomach. Thank God the divorce is in motion. I wouldn't take him back now. I turned to leave, but Chase's mocking gaze caught me. "If you're begging me not to divorce you, I might consider it. First, come over and bow to Brielle and apologize. This divorce has caused such a commotion you actually scared her. As long as Brielle accepts your apology, I'll accept it too. From now on behave yourself, stop stirring up trouble every other day, and I'll still keep the throne warm for you. When the baby's born I'll even let you help take care of him. After all, you've tagged along like a lapdog for more than 10 years, I'm not someone who forgets old ties." I gave a bitter laugh. So in Chase's heart I've always been nothing but a lapdog? And he's keeping the throne for me, graciously permitting me to raise the mistress's son? Huh. I couldn't bear another second. I turned and walked away. The night wind howled, whipping my heart and body until they felt hollow. Why is the 30-day cooling off period so endless? I prayed silently that the month would fly by. Once the divorce was final I could finally leave this wretched place. I WhatsApped the friend who'd invited me to the sea Ocktail party and told her something had come up. Then I ordered a rideshare through the app. While I waited, Jason rushed out. "Sophia, hold on. You've lost your mind tonight, why so stubborn? What's the big deal about saying sorry? That's how you've gotten through the years. Don't keep pushing. Push too hard and Harrington really will dump you, then you can cry yourself blind and it still won't change a thing." As he spoke he tried to drag me back inside. I flung his hand off and said coldly, "I'm not apologizing. And I'm not going back." He stared at me in utter disbelief. "Chase just threw you a lifeline. All you had to do was follow his script and apologize to Brielle, then this whole mess would be over. And you threw that chance away? The second you left he lost it." He smashed his crystal flute in front of everyone. "That proves you still matter to him. When he erupts none of us can calm him down." He even shoved Brielle away even though she's pregnant. "That baby is the little Harrington heir. If anything happens can you afford the blame? Chase will only hate you more. Are you stupid? An apology from you is the only thing that works right now. Come back with me. Say sorry and it's finished. Chase won't divorce you. It's a steal of a deal, you should be secretly thrilled." I let out a cold laugh. So in Chase's circle I love him that desperately? So desperately I've erased myself? They forget, love lasts only when it's mutual. I repeated, "I said I'm not apologizing. Chase and I are already filing the papers, the divorce is set in stone." Whether he likes it or not, this marriage is over. The moment I finished, the car pulled up. Ignoring Jason's dazed, rattled expression, I climbed in without looking back. In the rearview mirror I saw Chase and Brielle hurry out after us. Chase must have heard every word I said to Jason. His face was black, fists clenched so hard his knuckles cracked. Beside him, Brielle glanced at my rideshare, her own face twisted with jealousy and hate. A few days later the hospital called me to pick up results from a checkup I'd had. The OBGYN doctor studied the file and said earnestly, "By now we've run every test worth running. I can tell you with absolute certainty, there is nothing wrong with you. As for the infertility, the problem is your husband. Since he refuses to come in, I suggest you stop wasting your time here. If you're healthy, there's nothing left to investigate." "All right, doctor. Thank you." There was no need to air my marital dirty laundry. I simply thanked her and left the consulting room. As I started down the corridor I spotted a familiar figure, Brielle. A man I didn't recognize had his arm wrapped protectively around her. They looked intimate. Curiosity tugged me after them. They stopped outside the OBGYN wing and joined the queue. From a distance the man looked familiar, though I couldn't place him. "Our baby, Chase hasn't noticed anything odd, right?" the man asked. Brielle looked smug. "Relax, he hasn't got a clue. I must be super fertile, 3 abortions for you already. This time we never have to worry about diaper money." The man chuckled. "Imagine Chase's face when he finds out you cuckolded him and the kid isn't his." Brielle giggled. "I'm pretty sure he's infertile. His wife didn't get pregnant in 5 years of marriage, and I haven't conceived once even though we sleep together constantly. Our son will probably be the only child he thinks he has. So this isn't cuckolding, we're doing him a favor, hiding his shame." The man burst into loud laughter. Brielle's phone rang. She panicked, shoved the man away. "He's here, go, quickly, don't let him see you." The man kissed her cheek. "Okay, I'm gone. Damn, if the Harringtons weren't loaded I'd hate making my son call that idiot daddy." Brielle cooed, "Hurry, just bear it a little longer. Once our boy grows up the entire Harrington fortune will be his, and ours." At last the man left reluctantly. "GGE, you've arrived? I'm on the 3rd FL. Or at OBGYN, just come straight up." Only then did I remember who the man was, the guy I'd seen kissing Brielle in the break room at Chase's company. Quite the juicy scandal. Karma. The precious son Chase keeps bragging about belongs to someone else. In that instant I felt a weight slide off my shoulders. The perfect Chase I once idolized was actually foolish enough to be strung along by a mistress. Since Chase was on his way, I decided to leave, no need to dirty my eyes. "Sophia?" I'd barely turned when Brielle called after me. I paused and looked back. She was tense, her gaze flicked toward the man who'd just left, then she walked up, suspicious. She stopped in front of me. "What are you doing here? Why shouldn't I be?" I countered. She rearranged her expression and probed, "How long have you been here? What did you see?" "None of your business." I couldn't be bothered with their drama and turned to go. Brielle suddenly lunged and slammed into me. "Help," she screamed. Staggering, she crumpled to the floor. Clutching her belly, tears streaming, she begged in a fragile whisper, "Harrington, I know you hate me. Hit me, scream at me, I'll take it, but please, spare my baby, he's only 2 months old. Chi treasures him more than anything. For Chi's sake I'd die to protect this child." I stood frozen, baffled by her act. "You're insane. I never pushed you." The words were still leaving my mouth when Chase barreled toward us. "Sophia, that's enough," he barked. Oh, so Brielle had spotted Chase, no wonder the theatrics. Smack, before I could react Chase slapped me across the face. My ears rang, my cheek burned. In seconds he had Brielle on her feet, cradling her like a rare jewel. She nestled against him, shooting me another taunting glance. Chase's face was dark as he warned me, "The baby Brielle carries is my son. Target her and you target me. Even if you resort to gutter tricks to keep me, my heart belongs to Brielle." I looked at him as if he were a fool. "Rel. Axe, I want neither your body nor your heart." He sneered, unconvinced. "If you don't want them, why stalk Brielle? Sophia, you're the definition of saying one thing and doing another. Thinking if my son disappears I'll love you again? Keep dreaming." I laughed. "Your son?" 11 The proud new father glowed with confidence, utterly hilarious. Chase declared, "Of course he's my son. Who else's would he be?" Panic flashed across Brielle's face and she blurted, "GGE, she said she's jealous because I'm carrying your child. She wants to kill our baby, and even if he's born she'll try to make you doubt he's yours." Chase only smiled. He stroked her belly gently, his face plastered with tender concern. Let her spin whatever lies she wants, I'm not buying a word. She couldn't keep her man or pop out an egg, so of course she's jealous and wants to hurt you. Brielle nestled against Chase's chest and exhaled in relief. She shot me a vicious glare, a silent warning. I stood there, stunned by Brielle's gift for turning truth on its head. A master. An absolute master. The saying goes that villains are best dealt with by bigger villains. This must be what it looks like. Since Chase loves that green hat so much, let him keep wearing it. I'm dying to see his face when the kid he's so proud of grows up and the truth finally slaps him. Chase inspected Brielle carefully. Once he was sure she was fine, his mood soared. He looked down at me, smug and towering. Sophia, admit it, you're only this jealous because you still love me. You've kept your mouth shut for more than half a month this time. I actually thought you'd changed, that you were serious about divorce. But considering you've been with me for over 10 years, I'll give you one more chance, even if you won't apologize, so long as you learn your place and behave. His self-confidence made me laugh in disgust. I don't need any chance you're offering. Chase, if you're still half a man, show up at City Hall after the 30-day cooling-off period and sign the papers. I spun on my heel and strode away. Chase stared after me, sputtering with rage. Fine, have your pride. You want a divorce? I'll give you one, and then we'll see how far you get without me. When you come crawling back, begging to be Brielle's foot-washing maid, I won't even take you. The cooling-off period ended. The divorce was finalized. That same day I packed my bags and headed north, leaving the wreckage of my old life behind. In the capital that night, I drank myself numb in a bar. Neon glimmered through the haze as I raised glass after glass. A middle-aged man slid onto the stool beside me. Hey, beautiful, how about a drink? No thanks. I didn't even look at him. His face darkened, he leaned in until his breath brushed my cheek. A pretty thing like you ought to be more fun. Then his hands started roaming. The instant his grubby fingers were about to land, a young man in a tailored suit stepped between us and slammed a fist into the guy's face. He was tall and long-limbed, backlit so his profile looked carved by a divine chisel. His eyes were cold fathoms, deep enough to drown in, radiating quiet menace. The drunk roared, snatched a bottle, and swung for the stranger's skull. For a heartbeat, it seemed brains would spill. I didn't wait for the hero to react, my body moved on its own. Please, I cry easily, but I'm also a former citywide women's Sonda champion. One tipsy loser? Child's play. Ah, ma'am, I was wrong, spare me. Stop hitting, hurts. Within minutes he was howling for mercy. His yelps yanked me back in time. Back then, mean girls cornered me in the schoolyard, shredded my clothes, beat me until blood ran and my face ballooned like a steamed bun. Chase appeared out of nowhere and hauled me out. Later he paid for Sonda lessons, telling me a girl's fists were her best insurance. 15 years flicked past in a blink. The boy who slew dragons had become one himself. I smiled. I didn't know whether to thank or hate Chase, or still, I felt neither. He might as well have been a ghost from another life. I truly was over him. The suited stranger studied me, curiosity surfacing through his reserve. Nice moves, he said at last, the words an acknowledgement. The creep on the floor scrambled up and tried to scuttle away. A team of bodyguards burst through the door. 2 of them pinned the drunk, the rest formed a line and bowed to my rescuer. Crown Prince. Only later did I learn he was Adrien, the legendary billionaire heir of the capital. Adrien got my number. We ended up texting non-stop. Strange, such an iceberg in person, yet online he was witty and talkative. A few days in, we already knew each other's life stories. Then he invited me to dinner. We met in a private lounge at a 5-star hotel, one of the Blackwood properties. Naturally. Wine flowed, we both floated on a gentle buzz. Adrien was gorgeous, many times more than Chase. From my angle his features were sculpted marble, austerely beautiful and rare. A blush from the alcohol tinted the skin beneath his crisp collar, faint veins disappearing under snow-white shirt. A long finger lazily swirled a crystal flute, he drained it and the slow bob of his Adam's apple felt hypnotic. Maybe it was the wine, maybe the intimacy of the dim room, but heat pooled low in me. Adrien lifted his gaze. His smile now was nothing like the cold mask he'd worn the night we met. Sophia, has anyone ever told you you're breathtaking? The moment I saw you, you lit up the room. His cologne, clean, expensive, mingled with red wine breath, turning the air velvet. My cheeks burned. He drew me in, hand splayed at the small of my back, and brushed my lips with his. The kiss was lightning. Instinct took over, I tipped my head, pressed harder, tongue demanding. Adrien made a rough sound, answering with bruising hunger. Those sculptor's fingers went sightseeing, every landmark, every hidden path received a devoted tour. My breathing fractured. He scooped me up, str. Ode to the private elevator. The doors sealed, another assault of mouths and hands began. By the time we reached the penthouse, clothes were half gone and nothing could stop us. Of course, that was the exact moment my phone rang. I fished it out, cursing the intrusion. Chase flashed on the screen. I killed the call and tossed the phone onto the nightstand. That night Adrien and I took everything we wanted. The phone buzzed again and again, but Adrien's size and skill kept me in a haze I'd never known before. I floated in a warm, breathless heaven, ignoring every ring. When exhaustion finally claimed us, I fell asleep in his arms. Morning. I rubbed the sleep from my eyes, winced at the pleasant ache everywhere, and found Adrien already awake. The night felt surreal. How had I turned that wild? With Chase it had been frequent but never close to this inferno. Adrien's voice was soft. Awake? He handed me my phone. Someone called all night. Might want to check. 12 missed calls, every one from Chase, plus a string of texts. Sophia, stop the tantrum and come home. I know you're in the capital. How long do you think you can survive in that pricey place? Come back now and I'll overlook everything, or don't blame me for closing the door. Sophia, pick up. You started following me at 16. You really think a piece of divorce paper means you're not my woman? That certificate is just a scrap. If I want it undone, it's undone. I laughed at the desperation. When I lived under his roof, he never treasured me. Now that I was free, I was suddenly valuable. Pathetic. I deleted every message and blacklisted every number he owned. Who was it? Adrien asked. Robocalls, ignore them. He seemed to get it, but instead of pressing, he pulled me back into his arms. I figured out why your ex is infertile. I blinked. Why? Outside the first few centimeters, you're tight as new. With that grip, no way he could ever get anyone pregnant. It took me a full second, then I burst out laughing. Adrien had prepared a grand, cinematic confession for me. On site, he gifted me a Lamborghini delivered inside a giant ribbon-wrapped trailer, along with boxes of jewelry. Under everyone's gaze he cradled an enormous armful of roses, dropped to one knee, and said, Sophia, I know love once gave you bruises, so I'm asking, do you have the courage to let it try again? Will you be my girlfriend? I swear I'll treat you well for the rest of our lives. If I ever break that promise, you can kick me to the curb whenever you want. His sincerity misted my eyes. I accepted, voice thick with tears. A few days later a business summit hosted by the Blackwood Group was being held in the capital. Adrien brought me along. At the venue we ran into Chase, totally unexpected. The instant he spotted me he rushed over, wired with agitation. I knew I'd find you here. I asked around, someone showed me the guest list with your name. At first I figured it had to be a duplicate. An event this exclusive took me strings to get into. No way you could qualify, but here you are. He grabbed my wrist and yanked me toward the exit. Come on, you punished me long enough. Let's go home. I tried to wrench free, but his grip was iron. Let go of me. Chase, we're divorced, let go. Before he could haul me through the doors, Adrien stepped between us, aura dialed to full frost. His voice sliced the air. Young Master Harrington, isn't snatching people at my summit rather poor form? Chase's expression flipped. He fawned at once. Crown Prince Adrien, I had no idea. Sorry for the disturbance, really. She's my wife, just throwing a tantrum. We'll leave right now. Adrien's face was arctic, eyes glinting like sharpened glass. Your wife? Judging by the lady's reaction, that doesn't seem to be the case. I seized the moment. We're divorced. I'm not his wife. A flicker of triumph crossed Adrien's gaze, though his tone stayed glacial. Harrington, are you trying to wreck my event? Panic drained the color from Chase's cheeks. He released me instinctively. Misunderstanding, sir, total misunderstanding. I'm going. Once he'd slunk off, he switched numbers and texted, Sophia, why would the Crown Prince personally step in? Why is he protecting you? Did you seduce him? Let me warn you, that's Adrien, ruthless as they come. Cross him and you're dead meat. I smirked, didn't answer, and blacklisted the new digits. My life, or death, was none of his business. Over the following months he spammed me from half a dozen burners. He knew he'd messed up. We'd been half of each other's lives and time kept proving he couldn't live without me. He'd apologize nonstop if I'd just come home. He even sent mutual friends as envoys. My rule stayed fixed: stay neutral and we're still friends, speak for Chase and you're blocked along with him. After a few months the calls finally stopped. Later, Adrien and I got married. I never dreamed that 1 month and I'd be pregnant, then 3 years, 2 babies, a perfect set. Life was bliss. While I was cocooned at home after the second delivery, an unknown number rang. I picked up. It was Chase, clearly drunk. I hung up without a word. He kept redialing. Adrien was elbows deep in a diaper change. "Who is it, babe?" "Ex-hubby," I said. His eyes lit with mischief. "Answer it, put him on speaker." "I really don't want to." "Come on, please? I wanna hear." With my nod he tapped accept and speaker. A slurred flood poured through. "Sophia, where are you? I miss you so damn much. I never married Brielle, you're the one I love." Every cruel word was just me running my mouth. I never wanted a divorce. If you hadn't been infertile I'd never have looked at Brielle for a baby. Come back and I'll dump her, kick her out, and you can raise the boy. Pretend someone merely surrogate carried for us. Let's remarry, happy little family. I swear the kid will never know you're not his biomom. Adrian's jaw ticked, he barked a laugh and fired back. "Sorry, Harrington, Sophia just delivered our second baby, she's on postpartum bed rest, no time for remarriage. Oh, and reminder, she's perfectly fertile, 2 kids in 3 years, so maybe DNA test that kid. Odds are he isn't yours." On the other end Chase sputtered, disbelief shredding his voice, "Who the hell are you? Stop spreading lies or I'll destroy you. Put Sophia on, now." Calmly Adrien answered, "I'm her husband, Adrien." At that name Chase deflated like a punctured tire. "What, Crown Prince Adrien? No, impossible, Sophia would never marry anyone else, especially not him. Brielle's child has to be mine, can't be." Adrien cut the wailing short and ended the call. Then, like a kid showing off a trophy, he grinned, "I avenged you, babe. Impressed? You're basically twisting the knife." I laughed. "Exactly, he tormented my wife, he deserves every twist." After that day Chase vanished from my radar. Our little life grew sweeter by the hour. With 2 nannies doting on the newborns, Adrien whisked me around the globe once the babies hit 1 month. We didn't return for several months. It happened to be tomb sweeping day when we got back. I visited my hometown to pay respects at my parents' graves. Some old friends invited me out once they heard I was around. Jason showed up too. After a few rounds Jason leaned in. "Sophia, did you hear? Young Master Harrington's kid isn't his." Scandal blew up everywhere. The DNA results came back and he threw Brielle and the boy out of the mansion. I listened, expression unreadable. Right then Adrien texted, "Babe, I'm out front, ready when you are." I replied, "Wrapping up soon. No rush, catch up with your friends." I answered with a cute sticker. Jason was still talking. Brielle refused to leave, so Harrington beat her half to death and threatened to off the kid if she didn't vanish. Now Harrington's binge drinking, ignoring the company. Harrington is tanking day by day. He keeps saying he was blind, that he drove away the woman who truly loved him and kept the viper who played him. Jason eyed me, voice dropping, "Sophia, since you're back, will you see him? If this continues the Harringtons are finished and so is he. We brothers have tried, he won't listen. If you talk to him he might pull himself together." I set my phone down and sipped my tea. Fragrant and crisp, top grade brew. "Not going," I said. Jason's voice rose, "You loved him over a decade, you really don't care if he lives or dies?" My smile curved, cold. His life or death stopped being my concern the day we signed the divorce papers. Before anyone could answer I stood, lifted my cup in farewell, and told the table, "Sorry, guys, calling it a night. My husband's car is outside, we're heading back to the capital tonight." Thanks for listening to today's story. If you liked it, please like and share with friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more great stories. See you next time.